Des yeux qui font baisser les miens, un rire qui se perd sur sa bouche. Voilà le portrait sans retouche de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, qu'il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose.
Welcome to the dumbest ideas of the month. This month's dumbest idea? Walking the GR20 in Birkenstock sandals. So why would this be considered a dumb idea? And what in the hell is the GR20? GR20 is a long-distance footpath located on the French island of Corsica, spanning 180 kilometers with roughly 12,000 meters of elevation gain. That's a lot. It is considered by some to be the most challenging of all the GR routes. And to add a bit of extra difficulty, this dumb idea's realization happened in late May 2024, which means the snowfields in the north still haven't melted.
There's nothing we can do.
Dans mon esprit tout divague, je me perds dans tes yeux, je me noie dans la vague de ton regard amoureux. Je ne veux que ton âme divagant sur ma peau, une fleur, une femme dans ton cœur, Roméo. Je ne suis que ton ombre, le souffle lancinant de nos corps dans le sombre, animé lentement.
The first couple of days were pretty easy. The going was good, the weather was mostly fine, and the vistas were beautiful. I met a lot of people here, some of whom will be relevant later in the story. However, all the hikers I crossed paths with had one thing in common, commenting on my inappropriate footwear. Some of them even offered me their spare pairs of hiking shoes. All these offers were politely declined. Here are some of the best views. Enjoy.
Résonne en baiser le long de ta poitrine, perdu dans l'avalanche de mon cœur égaré.
L'amour est un oiseau rebelle que nul ne peut apprivoiser. Et c'est bien en vain qu'on l'appelle s'il y convient de refuser.
Now the north. The north has proven to be somewhat more challenging, with shorter distances, higher elevation, and more rugged terrain. And of course, there was the snow, the greatest hurdle that could not only put a premature end to this challenge, but also to my life. So the going has been good, mostly because of the fact that the snow is still quite frozen. My left foot is frozen solid. Yeah, damn. I need to get some blood into it. There's the sign. We're still on the path, even though I haven't seen the mark for 500 meters. It's probably buried in the snow. The views are nice though. So this is the north, eh? The snow-covered slopes were steep, the surface treacherous and slippery. I did it again, stabbed my toe again, and it's taking my break. Now look what I just found. That's where I'm going. Wait, get a good zoom on. So I just had a wonderful idea. I'll fashion myself a stick out of these little branches that I found, and I
was in the process of cutting this branch when I cut myself one done. Not a complete one, but another patch. Found out that I made my stick too sharp because it's breaking at the ends. I'm just taking a little breather to defrost my feet. I'm so bloody hungry. I'm going to eat the whole buffet when I get to the refuge. I stubbed my foot like 10 times in the snow. Yeah, it's bleeding real bad. There's like a lot of blood flavored snow coming from the shoe. Fuck. What can I do? About to hit the hardest part.
Were I to lose my footing here, there would be nothing to stop me from sliding down and gaining enough speed to crash into a jagged rock formation, resulting in serious injury or worse.
So the German fellas that I just met were kind enough to make me a bath in the snow, so it wasn't that difficult. But my fucking feet are frozen and so are my fingers. So this was the warm-up, and now comes the actually difficult part, going down. 10 times worse. In it, oh little body, I ain't got nothing to give you except for my chocolate. Goodbye. So they also told me that the next 2 days are going to be pretty chill. Pretty chill hills, but towards the end it's going to get way more difficult than today. So here's an idea. Instead of going from there all the way down there through the snow, I just climb around here, right? What could be wrong with that? Well,
I was nearing the Monte Cinto Massif, which is the last, arguably the most arduous part of the journey. When I started to realize that I was running out of cash. Now you might be asking, what's the problem with that, eh? Can't you just use your credit card? Are you poor or something? No, and kind of. The only way to acquire food in the mountains is to go to refuge and buy it with cash. So I did some quick calculations and I found out that I cannot afford any slacking. I have to push onwards no matter the conditions, otherwise I would run out, and that means no food. And no food means the end for me. I cannot march on an empty stomach, not with the amount of energy that I'm putting out each day with this pace. It was either go hard or go home. And then this happened.
It's going quite a lot harder. Oh, at the top, I lost the markers, so I'm just following a little path in here. It's flipping cold, so cold. I had to put on my sweatpants for the first time during the daytime. The views are nice, aren't they? Fuck, where am I going? The only marks that are available are these yellowed out classical ones. I don't know what that means. I guess I'm about to find out. I saw a person going this way like an hour ago from the bottom. So it shouldn't be too bad, right? So I went down again because the wind is unbearable. You cannot stand upright. It's fucking fast and cold. Shit. I have put on all of my layers, like all the clothes I own. The guy went in front of me, he went back too. And I went back like 50 meters or so from the top because the wind ain't so terrible here. But the reason I'm not continuing is not the wind, it's because there's no path. I can't find the path. I'm not in the path. There are like the signs that point you to the refugios, but the markers ain't there, and I don't see a clear path. And the moment I get on that ridge, the wind just is so fucking powerful that I fear for my life that I'll slip down. Fucking cold. Oh yeah. So I think I'm going down and I'm going to have to make some executive decisions. I can't afford to wait another day because I'm running out of cash. I only have like 49 euros left for 2 days of the trip, and those are reserved for food. So either, I don't know, man. I don't think I can make it. I should have packed more money. That's fucking stupid. It's like the dumbest thing that you can run out of is money. It's not like your muscles are sore, your hair hurts, or I don't know, you're sick, you're tired. I'm so disappointed in myself. I can go fucking down and take a bus, I don't fucking know. I'm getting really cold, so I'm going down, following the guy.
And down I went, back into the refuge, which name I cannot pronounce. I have decided to walk back into the valley, find the nearest road. On that road I would attempt to hitchhike to the nearest village, from where I would be able to take a bus into the city of Corte. That's where the nearest ATM machine was anyways. I could not return back to where I left off, because I had to be in Île-Heureuse to take a ferry back home on the 5th of June. And the round trip to and from Corte would make it impossible for me to make it on time. So from there I would take a bus into the Ascó refuge and continue onwards towards Calenzana to at least partially finish the journey, thus leaving out the most difficult part of the GR. That meant defeat for me. The GR20 cannot be completed in Birkenstock. Except none of those plans actually happened.
Now look at what awaits us. A beautiful slope of snow.
And the refuge.
Yeah, I see. It doesn't seem that far away.
Yes, but it is.
Well done, guys!
going was as hard as it was going to get, but it didn't matter anymore. I was in a group of people whose company I enjoyed. We were overcoming the same obstacles together, which made the going not just a lot easier, but also fun. Despite the fact that the mountains and the weather were throwing at us their worst, we persevered and stood victorious at the end of the infamous GR20. Here are some of the best views from the north. So this is the state after more than 200 kilometers. The sides, they're completely frayed. The front part is falling apart. It's a Hungry Birkenstock. That is also it's a little better, but overall it's still holding together. It's still walkable. The other one is more frayed on the inside, and yeah, holding pretty well. It's starting to open, of course, just a little bit, but other than that, still good.